Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're going to be looking closely at something really interesting in the independent media world. It's called Discover You Radio.
Yeah.
Our sources give us a pretty good picture of how they're, trying to make space for themselves against the big players.
Right. And it's important, I think, to define what we mean by independent world. It's easy to just think music, but really?
Yeah.
Well, it's every single mom and pop shop, isn't it? Every little coffee place, the local garage, anyone who's really grinding it out on their own, that whole entrepreneurial spirit.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So our mission today really is to understand how Discover You Radio actually supports these artists, these small businesses.
Huh.
And I guess why is that so important right now? Especially when you look at the market. It's tough out there for independents. So maybe let's start with the big picture. The media landscape, the numbers are kind of stark, right? Commercial radio still pulls in, what is it, about 67% of daily listening.
Yeah, around that, 67%. And that often means these huge corporate networks just playing the same stuff over and over.
Feels very repetitive, a closed loop almost.
Exactly. And then you see how that connects to the music streaming market overall. I mean, it's exploding, right? Almost $47 billion in 2024. And they're talking over $108 billion by 2030. Huge numbers.
Wow.
But, and this is the crucial part, the independent artists, the ones without a label, the unsigned musicians, and also the small businesses trying to get an ad out without, taking out a second mortgage. They often just get lost in all that growth. The money doesn't really reach them.
Right. So it's growing, but not necessarily for everyone. So, okay, given that massive competition, how does Discover You Radio try to step into that gap? What makes them different?
Well, they have a few key things, according to our sources. First off, they're set up like a proper professional station. They're fully licensed through Live 365.
Live 365. Some listeners might not know them.
Right, yeah, they're a big internet radio platform. Basically, they handle all the complex licensing stuff. It means the royalties get paid correctly, transparently. That's a huge weight off an artist's shoulders.
Okay, so legitimacy is number one. What else?
Maybe the biggest draw for artists. Absolutely no upfront fees to get their music played.
No fees.
None! It cuts right through that whole pay-to-play nonsense you see sometimes. Artists can just go to their site, discoveryourradio.com/submissions, upload their music, and apparently it can be in rotation within 24 to 48 hours.
Incredibly fast. But wait, they have over 1,000 artists, you said? How do they make sure everyone gets a fair shot with that many tracks?
Yeah, good question. They use technology called Sam Broadcaster. It's not just a shuffle button. It's smarter than that. It tracks how often each artist gets played. The algorithm is set up so that the less an artist has been played recently, the more frequently they pop up in the rotation.
Huh. So it actively tries to surface lesser heard stuff.
Exactly. The idea is genuine discovery, trying to level the playing field a bit, instead of just favoring whoever has the biggest marketing push.
Okay, that makes sense for artists. Now, let's switch gears a bit to the small businesses, because they're up against giants too, right? Competing with corporate ad budgets. I mean, some companies drop tens of thousands on just one campaign. How does a local shop even begin to compete with that?
They usually can't, not on those terms. And that's where Discover You Radio comes in again. Their advertising model is built to be accessible. The rates are, pretty striking. $50 a week gets you banner ads on their site. 50. And get this, $25 for a 5-minute sponsored segment on one of their podcasts.
$25 compared to traditional radio.
It's a completely different ballpark, isn't it? It actually gives small local businesses a chance to reach listeners without breaking the bank.
Yeah, absolutely. And it sounds like there's more to it than just selling slots, right? The sources mentioned they're actively investing in the artists, not just taking submission fees or ad money.
Correct. This is where it gets really interesting, I think. They don't just play the music. They actively pitch the artists in their system to other radio stations, to playlist curators, even music bloggers. They're trying to expand their reach beyond just their own stream.
So they're acting almost like advocates.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
They even buy the artist's music on platforms like iTunes. They provide certified proof of airplay. They seem genuinely invested in helping these artists to grow. And if you zoom out, you see they're building more than just a radio station. It's becoming a network, a community of these independent entrepreneurs who all get the struggle, and they support each other.
And the community aspect seems key.
Yeah.
But, okay, if artist submissions are free, and ads are super cheap.
Right.
They must be running on pretty tight margins, right?
Extremely tight, you'd have to assume. Which brings us to a really vital piece of their model, donations, community support.
Oh.
Okay.
So they rely on listeners chipping in.
Heavily. It's the reality of keeping something like this going. That support covers the day-to-day running costs. Think about monthly operating expenses, those crucial licensing fees we mentioned, keeping the tech up to date, all the background work. It adds up. They're pretty open about being a grassroots thing. And the sources emphasize donations start at just 25 cents.
25 cents.
Yeah, every single bit helps, apparently. And it goes directly back into supporting these unsigned independent artists and the platform itself.
So when you donate, you're not just like funding a radio station. You're putting money towards that songwriter juggling 3 jobs. Or that indie band sleeping in their van between gigs.
Or that local shop owner who can finally afford to tell people they exist. And importantly, you're helping them maintain the quality, the technology side of things, too.
Definitely. They broadcast at 192 KLVPs, which, for anyone wondering, is pretty high quality for streaming. It's near CD quality, really clear audio.
And they make it easy to listen to, right? It's not
Yeah.
just on their website. Oh, yeah, they're everywhere. You can use their website, sure, but also their Apple app, the Google app, ask Alexa to play it, tune in, Live 365 itself, even Roku.
Wow. Okay, so accessibility is definitely covered.
Pretty much, however you listen to stuff, you can probably find them, which also speaks to their reach geographically.
Right. I saw that. They're mainly U.S. and Canada now, but pushing outwards. Mexico license secured and aiming for places like Australia, Japan, the UK, the Netherlands.
Yeah, and that kind of international growth for an independent station, that's got to be fueled by that community support we were just talking about. You don't do that on pocket change.
No kidding. So let's tie this back to the bigger picture. You mentioned earlier that overall streaming growth is actually slowing down a bit,
Yeah.
like 6.2% in 2024.
Yeah, the explosive growth phase may be tapering off, and at the same time, independent artists are finding it harder than ever to cut through the noise.
So Discover You Radio isn't just, I don't know, another streaming option in a crowded field?
Exactly. That's not really their game, it seems. They're trying to build something different, a community, a
Yeah.
support system. So when you tune in, or if you decide to chip in those 25 cents or whatever, you're directly helping, that specific songwriter down in Nashville who's trying to get heard.
Or that indie rock band up in Portland.
Or that jazz group in New Orleans that's amazing, but doesn't have a label backing them. It's tangible support.
And it goes beyond the music too, right?
Yeah.
The small businesses advertising, the listeners supporting. It's like joining this whole network.
Mm-hmm.
People who value authenticity, who get the independent grind.
Yeah. It's all about proving that independent doesn't have to mean like second best or lower quality.
Showing that small can compete with big, maybe just differently.
With the right platform, the right community behind it. Absolutely.
And for listeners who really want to get into the weeds, they have their own discussion series too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Talking about the stories, the challenges.
Yeah, diving deeper into the lives behind the music and the businesses.
Okay, so wrapping up our deep dive here, Discover You Radio really does seem to be carving out a unique and frankly vital space. A place where artists and small businesses might actually find their voice, find an audience, without getting lost in the corporate machine.
It really boils down to this. Your story matters. Your music matters. Your business matters. And platforms like Discover You Radio are built on the idea that your support also matters because they're trying to make sure the world hears all of it.
Right. So if you're an artist listening, check out discoveryradio.com/submissions. If you run a small business and need affordable advertising, maybe reach out to them. And if you just believe in what they're doing, supporting independent voices, well, even that 25 cents can make a difference in keeping it going.
Absolutely. Keep supporting independent, keep dreaming big, and, well, keep discovering you.